Social media is not a terrorist organization. It can't be a terrorist organization because what is it? Like he said, it's a media, it's a medium. A medium is a blank canvas. What you put on that medium matters a great deal. Prior to this time, there's something we call books. Historically, when you go back to the 1500s, one of the first major tools that changed the world was the Gutenberg Bible, printed by Johannes Gutenberg, because then it was a big deal reading the Bible and knowing it for yourself. It was when the likes of Martin Luther got a hold of that, he wrote his theatres on Winterburn Gate, and he said, "The just shall live by faith." It caused a big liberation in the Christian fold. Then, as printing went of age, people got more information. These are mediums. Then, in the 20s and 30s, Guglielmo Marconi transferred the first radio wave. Then we had radio. That was also used to spread propaganda.
So many different.
What we call traditional form today was used to spread propaganda. In fact, it was said the likes of Father Coughlin spread a lot of anti-Jewish propaganda through the radio. Then in the 50s, the likes of ABS, CBS, and Dumont brought about this new technology called television that had been perfected in the 20s and 30s by the likes of John Longy Bird. It was also used. We had words like the revolution will not be televised. Then DARPA came about. Tim Berners-Lee in 1991, the World Wide Web. All of this platform will be used, but the question is, how is it used? So social media is not the problem. It has also been a force of good. If not for social media, are we going to know about the kid that they were beating yesterday that the governor of Borno saved?
Perfect example, because I also
if
have
not for social
story
media, are we going to know about the inequity and the crisis that is going on? Are we going to be able to review police officers that are doing all of what they're doing?
The girls in Ivory Coast.
The guests in Ivory Coast, if not for social media. So it's what you put on it. Traditional media too can be a tool in the hands of terrorists.
Yes.
ISIS had a newspaper called Dabik that they shared. What can we do? I think the very first thing we should do, the Americans have a cybersecurity force in their armed forces now. We should be able to have a cybersecurity unit that goes ahead, that is part of most social media sites, that debunk most of these lies and bring clarity. The traditional gatekeepers too can also do that work, which we've been doing.
Absolutely.
Fact-checking most of the stories and all of that. Sometimes we will not get it right.
Yes.
Look at the story of the summon. The state came out to debunk it afterwards. Most media are taking it. I even took it. But we can quickly retract and say, okay, this is the state of things and what is happening. Then most importantly, educate people more on most of these videos and all of that.
Yes.
But you saying it is the terrorist organization, it's just a platform, it cannot be.
Yes.
It's also being used as an agent for good.
Yes.
There are people that their faith was strengthened on social media.
Yes, I think that, the Sultan has spoken well, actually, because it has brought this conversation to bear at this point, to the security agencies. And I think what is important is that the information being shared on social media, like that Twitter user alluded to, the fact that you can actually use that information to trace these terrorists. We have taken stories, Vimbai, where we have seen, videos of these bandits flaunting money and all of that. There's this geolocation. We can track these people. Without social media, we will not know their whereabouts.
Absolutely. Oji, I think most of the valid points have been made already. But I think what I want to talk about is how we can restore trust in our leaders.
Yes.
Because when we speak of regulation around social media, it's a taboo. And this is because so much trust has been eroded between leaders and people. So when social media users hear about regulation of the social media space, they already feel that it's an opportunity for politicians to weaponize the space and gag opposition and gag voices that are counter to whatever they stand for. So I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done there in us understanding that regulation is important. Everything is regulated. Television, Rufai took us through the history. If you go through the history, most of the media started very liberal, and then we realized that, oh no, there has to be rules. You know, one of my favorite examples is Mussolini, and how, you know, Mussolini, before he rose to be a dictator, he actually was used to plant stories
He ran a newspaper.
He ran a newspaper.
Mussolini.
In an attempt to paint the opposition negatively. So regulation doesn't have to be a bad thing. However, it should not be weaponized, and we need to carry people along to ensure that it is fair and just in its implementation.
Well said, Joel. Thank you.